What's up, my YouTube friends, my woodworking friends? So today, I want to talk to you about the process of flattening lumber. There's a lot of videos out there that talk about it. That will probably go into better detail than I will, and maybe they may leave some things out. So my process is this: when I flatten lumber. Um, I'll evaluate the board. This little piece of maple here, I evaluate it with a straight edge. So I'll just see, what's wrong with this board. I know that this board is more twisted on this side, which means some of these ends are higher than the other. And it's evident when you put something like this on a flat surface. Right, whatever it is, it's got to be flat. Okay, so I know these two edges on the other side are high. Okay, two approaches. This is pretty bad, right? I would take the side that has the least amount of work, especially if you're doing it by hand. So you have two choices in getting your lumber flat, and that is a hand plane or a joiner. So the machines that make lumber flat, rough lumber flat, are the jointer and the planer. The jointer makes one face. Lumber has two faces, right? And two edges. It makes one face flat, and what the ability of the joiner is later is to make that edge 90 degrees to that face. Okay, let's talk about flattening though. Joe, you can't put this twisted, warped board in your planer and expect it to come out flat. It's not. It's going to come out thinner and twisted. So what a planer basically does is there's rollers in there that are feeding the wood, and it's pressing down on the wood, and for a moment it's making it flat, but when it comes out the other end, it's only thinner and twisted. Same way you put it in is the way it's coming out. So what you want to do is go to the joiner or the hand plane and work it. So get yourself a good straight edge, check your board out. This board I know is worse on the other side. There's twist on it, worse than this side. At least this side, it lays kind of flat, right? All of my work will be down the middle of this board, and it won't take much to get this side flat. Then you can take this and put it into the planer once you get this basically flat. Like, you don't have to worry about some edges, but as long as you work the center section and get that down, you should be good. Two ways you can do twist is, well, if you're doing it by hand, you want to use winding sticks. And basically, winding sticks are two straight edges and one edge is colored, so that you can see the difference in the board when you get down at eye level and peer down the board, look down the board. You can see where your high spot is, okay? The other way is at the joiner. Again, I would work the joiner the same way I'm going to work my hand planes. I wouldn't try to joint this bad side first. I would joint, which is the bottom of this board. Okay, I would work the side that needs the least work in the machine. Okay, another thing. In your processing, think about this. if your project that you're making has boards that are 24 inches by, say, whatever width, so say they're 6 inches, or say they're 3 inches wide, and your board here is 6 inches or 8 inches wide, cut your project down into sizes that your cut list, your project is going to require, but leave some room. So say if you need a piece that's 24 by 2 inches wide, leave it 2.5 inches wide or 3 inches wide and 26 inches long. Because it's better to work that smaller part. It may not need as much work as an 8, if you try to process the whole entire 8-foot section of board. Do you understand me? In that 24-inch section, it might not have any cup or any twist. You know, you're looking at this board the whole way, and there's high spots here, right? So they might not be there when you shorten that board. That's the most important part about processing wood, is to get your pieces as close to the size that you need and work those pieces. Okay? And always leave yourself some room in case something happens in the process. Because what you want to do is process your wood, get it as close, but leave it a little thick and a little big, and then let it acclimate and see if it's going to twist more, right? And then you start processing it to finished sizes. Only process your finished sizes when you are ready to start working on your project. Don't start processing it to your finished sizes and then leave it for 2 months, because it may change again. Okay? So let's go over to the joiner. This is a joiner, okay? Its job is 2 things: to make your face flat and your edge 90 degrees to it. That's its only job. But it's an important job, because again, the planer will only make this board thinner if it's twisted. So you need some type of reference for your planer to go off of, okay? And this is your reference machine. Or it's a hand plane, one or the other, okay? So you would process it through here, right? There's cutters in the middle, right? See there? This happens to be a spiral head cutter. There's 40 blades in here that are, some joiners only have a single blade, okay? But that's processing. This table's lower than this table. This is the in feed, this is the out feed. So that makes your board face flat. That machine is the planer. That machine only makes your flat side, that machine only references off of your flat side. So you put the flat side down on the bed, and it starts making your piece co-planar to the other side. Okay? That's all that machine does. And some people use it to make I use it too for face frames, to make them all consistent in height. So there's, most planers have a height allowance of up to 6 inches high. So, I also use it to do that, I will, run it through this way, and then if I need a bunch of pieces to be all the same width, I'll run it through there, because it's a lot better and more accurate than your table saw. I don't care what you say. And it comes out clean, right? No saw blade marks or nothing. It's just a good way to final dimension things that you need like that, where you need the face and the edge to be the same. Let me come back up here. So I think I covered everything in this process of, in a short bit of time that I think is it's crucial for you to understand that there is a process, and it's not, you know, you can't just wave the magic wand and your wood comes out beautiful. If you want good wood, just go buy surface material, and even sometimes that surface material is not truly flat. Okay, because again, they're processing 10-foot lengths, and they can only do so much with it. Their end result is they want it to be 3/4 of an inch thick. So it may be twisted along its length, and still, because you're processing it, you know, because they're processing it to a certain size, and they don't want to lose a lot of material. So there'll still be some twist to it, maybe, and there'll still be some, you know, I don't know what you would call it. Yeah, twist, like along its length, It may be a little twisted along its length still. So the best way, if you can, is to process your material yourself. If you can. If you can't, then you just deal with it. And again, like I said, you have a 10-foot piece, and unfortunately, if your project requires a 10-foot piece, then you're pretty much going to have to pick the best material that you can find. Hope this helped you. Be well, be blessed, and be safe on your job site and in your shop and whatever you do. Until the next time. See ya!